Last week, we told you about a grassroots effort aimed at getting a ballot initiative called the Equality of Rights Under the Law Amendment. The amendment was to cover equal rights for race, color, creed, gender, sexual orientation, and much more. Ohio Equal Rights, the group that's been petitioning to get the issue on the ballot, had also planned to include ending the gay marriage ban in Ohio in the amendment as well. But the Ohio Ballot Board wants to split the amendment into two separate issues. Lise Regula with Ohio Equal Rights joins me now again on the 5 to explain the latest in this process. So Lise, thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having us, Madison.
Of course. So the ballot board thinks the equal rights issue and the gay marriage piece to the amendment should be separate ballot issues. And I understand that you think that they should not be. So why is that?
So we had initially filed this as a single amendment with the petitions attached to it, in part because marriage equality is very much an issue of equal rights. We often think about equal rights as an individual thing, and yes, those are important. At the same time, there are a lot of privileges that come with being married. And if a person is not able to access those privileges when they are marrying the person that they fall in love with, then are we truly equal? I can't control who I fall in love with any more than I can control the color of my eyes or the color of, well, hair I can change fairly easily with hair dye. But I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, and just to get people caught up on where things stand nationally and in the state of Ohio, can you explain what it means to have equal rights issues and gay marriage on the amendment in Ohio, and what difference would this make in the state of Ohio?
Sure. Well, a lot of people, including myself at times, think of rights as a settled issue because we have had a lot of progress in that area. That's not necessarily the case. We saw with Dobbs the overturning of a long-held precedent that allowed for abortion to be legal. Ohio took the step in 2023 to make sure and enshrine that right in our Constitution. And at the federal level, we have civil rights law, we have Americans with Disability law. Those are great. At that federal level, it is incredibly expensive for an individual who believes that they have been discriminated against to try and challenge up through that federal court system. Bringing these protections to the state level makes it more accessible for the average Ohioan to actually be able to pursue justice for themselves if they have been wronged in some way, shape, or form. And that's important because rights without the ability to enforce those rights aren't all that meaningful.
Right, so it would protect the rights here in the state of Ohio despite what's happening nationally. And so what's your group going to have to do in order to have enough signatures to get both of these issues on the ballot?
So for right now, what we have to do is wait for the ballot board to come back with their language on how they're proposing that these two ballot initiatives be split. We do have some choices in front of us once we have that language and that information, because while they have chosen to say that these initiatives are two separate amendments, we can follow that path. That means about double the number of signatures because it's two separate petitions. So instead of the 413,000 plus signatures that would be required, it would be 826 plus thousand signatures for the two petitions total. There is also the possibility of suing if we disagree and believe that the appropriate and most effective path is going to be to enforce single issue on this, then that's also a possibility. And we can also choose to try different language, go back, see if there is a better way to write this language that would be more amenable to the ballot board.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you, Madison.